Oh, hi, everybody. Welcome to yet another episode of the Chef House podcast. And I was just sitting out for a while and I thought, since I made promises that I was going to focus on book reviews as well. And I thought, why don't I take the time to actually kind of highlight on a book that I'm currently reading? I mean, the book that I finished reading a while ago, but I keep coming back to it. It's kind of like a little bit more. It's one of the only books that I've realized that even though it's too big, but I still find it quite interesting. And not interesting in a way that it's fun or entertaining per se, but sort of like it's kind of like the advice it gives, it's way more practical than I would have imagined it to be. Most of the time you'd get a big book and it's almost half of the first part of the book as just the author establishing what the book is going to be about. But with this one is, since the get-go, even the anecdote of his current personal life, was just so straightforward to the point. And yeah, I mean, especially nowadays, whenever you hear the term book, it's kind of like you either feel guilty. You feel guilty of always making promises to yourself, or even buying books and never getting to actually reading them or finishing them, for that matter. But yeah, let's get into it. I think since it's so big, and I'm obviously not going to remember everything in it, I thought I'd just highlight 3 main key points that I thought would be interesting to share. And this is going to be a very short video. It's not going to be long because there's people walking here, and I just people might come and sit here. It's a public space per se. Okay, so the first point is the book is called Atomic Habits. So basically what it speaks about, it's that changes people make, and that people, to summarize the person would be a amalgamation of habits. It's kind of like since we were kids, there were all of these programs, sequencing that we got adapted to, and those programs, lined up one habit after the other. It's what makes our personality and what defines us, what makes us different in comparison to everyone else. Because I believe people are reborn we look different and everything, but the source code is the same. And what makes difference is it's obviously that discussion between nurture and nature. It's like how much of who you are is strongly determined by the environment that you find yourself in than it is the nature that you innately have, right? So with Atomic Habits, basically the name says atomic, which means small habits. So the small incremental changes to your habits, are the most significant changes that we tend to overlook, So it basically says, instead of taking big steps to change, you need to take 1% incremental steps towards the ultimate change that you envision, And I think there's a funny humility versus pride battle whenever someone engages into changing their habits, because most of the time you would find that when you spend time not actually aiming towards something and just living about, it feels like you have infinite time, right? But as soon as you pick an aim and try and direct yourself towards that aim, you tend to realize how less of time you actually have. And then the temptation is to take big steps into changing. You always feel like we need to change as fast as possible, but you can't jump the gun. I think that's to say. You can't jump the gun. In French, there's a word where they say you can't put the donkey in front of the train. You can't put the cart in front of the donkey or the horse, basically. So you need to get in line, follow the process the way it has to. If you take an egg, basically, when chicken lays an egg and you see that baby struggling to break the egg, you might feel inclined to help him, but you can't, because that's the process that it needs to go through. As soon as you try and help it a little bit, it breaks. So the habits change incrementally, slowly, but surely with time. They say it takes 21 days to eventually get completely rid of the whole habit, and we're surprised how crazy 21 days is to actually stick towards something. So yeah, 3 thoughts. The first one is habit stacking. So basically, if you want tools to, how do I change my habits? Like that would be the obvious question, right? So I have a habit that I want to change, but how do I start to change it? Let's say the habit that you want to create is going to the gym. At first, as a noob, you feel like, I need to go to the gym every single day, and I need to lift as much as I can. You want to do the big stuff. It's tempting to do the big stuff, but there's a tool which he gives, which is habit stacking. Because this is a new thing to you, it's not something that's aligned to the way you actually function. Just taking that drastic change momentum, it's going to be extremely difficult. So one of the ways you can change it is to actually stack it on another habit. Because what are the habits that you easily find easy for you to change? What are the habits that you innately do? Those would be brushing your teeth, for instance, and a way that you can, let's say, adopt a new habit would be every time you brush your teeth, do something. For example, or maybe your current habit is going for a walk. So you would say, okay, every time I go for a walk, or before I go for a walk, I go to the gym, and then I go for the walk. So you stack one habit on top of an existing habit, and then that's the easiest way for you to change it. Or maybe watching TV is something that you do. When you say, okay, before I watch TV, I need to read a book. So you stack one habit on top of the existing habit, and eventually, it takes place, and it happens. You keep doing it. The other one is, number 2, is 1% incremental changes. So, we spoke already about that. And so people are starting to walk in. So it's becoming a bit clear right now. But so I said habit stacking and incremental changes. That is 1% changes. Even if you look at stairs, right? It's not huge jumps that you take. It's tiny incremental steps you take. And God, I can't remember the other one. Identification. That is what spends the other one. Identification is it's easier for you to say. It's more harder for you to say, I need to start gymming, or I need to start going to work out. I need to start hitting the gym, than it is to say, than it is to identify yourself as a person that goes to the gym. I know it's a bit strange, but this one actually made a lot of sense for me. It's the way you view yourself, aligns you to certain habits that you need to take. If you see yourself as an academic, reading books is sort of like your identity. It comes easy to you. If you see yourself as a comedian, laughing, making jokes sort of comes easy to you. So you can't shift out of your identification, basically. So the easiest way for you to adopt a new habit is view yourself as a person that does the thing that you want to start doing. And I used to say, whenever I would, before I started going to the gym, that I would go to the gym for 3 months, and I would be as huge as I ever dreamt to be, and that would be the end of it. And I'll have this perfect physique, and that would be good. But it doesn't work that way, because the habit is a way of life. It's a way that you view yourself. And if you made a decision to take on a specific habit, it needs to be something that you identify yourself as, and you would basically be doing it forever. If you can see yourself doing something forever, then it's a good habit for you to adopt. And so that is it. I hope this would kind of give you guys maybe a nudge to go and read the book, because I'm sure I did not do justice to it. I just took advantage of the situation. Scenery is kind of cool, and I'll definitely make a problem. My notes deceived me, but it's okay. Cool. Shoot. See you guys in the next episode. And yeah.